crop frame sensors are going to go away. And the reason I say that is because Sony has made it so crop frame sensors are not needed anymore. For example, I was shooting with the A7R2, and the A7R2 is like a 40 plus megapixel piece, 44 or 47, I don't know. I keep forgetting all these numbers, and don't mention in the comments, your numbers are off. It's not that big of importance to me, as long as you know these are big megapixel full frame cameras that are less than Canon's full frame cameras. And so when you get this body in your hand and you're sitting here like, oh wow, there's a crop frame mode, what's the point of even having a crop frame body on you? Most of the sports photographers that I know that are really good at what they do, they have a crop frame body in one hand and a full frame sensor on the other hand. They have both of them strapped on them. Usually they use the crop frame sensor to add value to their lenses when they're shooting sports and stuff like that. Shout out to my boy Kevin, who does that all the time. Now you have to understand that these crop frame sensors do give you an advantage that full frame sensors don't have, and that's reach. Like for example, my 200 millimeter, my 70 to 200 millimeter gets closer to my subject almost, I think it's what, 60%? I don't know. I haven't done the math, but it gives you a lot more reach in your crop frame sensor than your full frame sensor would ever have. You don't want to have to spend like thousands. The longer your lens, the more telephoto your lens is, the more money you got to spend, because you got to get close, typically, especially if you want to save light. Now that aperture is really going to bank rob you, but if you have a crop frame sensor and you're able to put that same lens on another camera and get closer to your subject, then you're actually saving money because you have the pixel density that can reach that far, so on and so forth. Now, in my brain, I'm thinking crop frame sensors is going to go away because of what Sony did. Sony made crop frame just a software spec in the camera. So you mean to tell me I can switch my camera over? When I was using the A7R2, I was thinking this to myself, that I can switch my camera over to a crop frame mode. I don't have to pull out my crop frame sensor body. I can get the same functionality, the same results, the exact same everything, and just get close to my subject without even have to change my lens. Really? Now, there might be a little bit of a caveat there. The aperture might not be exactly the same, or something might be a little bit different. Who knows? It might give you exactly what it says, because Sony is known for giving you exactly what they said they're going to give you. Now, they're not perfect, and no camera company is, and just like memory, you don't get everything that you want out of the memory. Say, for example, you get a 100 megabyte card, you probably only can use like 85 megabytes of that card, but at the end of the day, you are getting essentially what you asked for. And that's what these camera companies do to you. And that's why I think crop frame sensors are going to go away, because Canon tends to make a lot of money off the crop frame sensors, but if you can just use a full frame sensor, which are coming down in price, by the way, $2,000 for a crop frame, full frame sensor nowadays. That used to be close to the resale price of a lens with a 7D Mark I or II, back when 7Ds used to come out. So you mean to tell me not only is the full frame price going down, but I can still have the same functionality, and all I gotta do is flip it in my camera? This is the same concept that I came up with when the 50 megapixel Canon 5DSR came out with. You can't get mad at the companies for giving us 50 megapixels, because in camera you can actually bring the megapixel size down. You can't be mad for somebody giving you everything that you need and more, and then having you have the ability to control it. So in my opinion, crop frame sensors are going to go away, because not only are we getting the power and the control to control how much of the sensor we're using, but we can do it at a smaller fraction of the price, and we still have the full frame option for the newer cameras that are coming out. So full frame and crop frame all in one camera. How can you beat that? It's just like those point and shoot cameras. People used to eat those point and shoot cameras up. Now it's like a thing of the past, because you can do it all on your cell phone now. I'm doing with CenturyFX Studios, and this is why crop frame sensors are pretty much going to go away.